It's Tuesday, whatever that means. What does Tuesday mean for you guys? To me, it means that Monday's already happened, and where did it go? What just happened there? So I am on my I'm having an iced coffee. I've already had 2 cups of coffee. I had a bulletproof coffee and a regular coffee, and now I'm having an iced coffee. Hey, Tim. Today I just feel like there's not enough coffee in the world. Have you ever had that feeling? Sometimes life just happens. I scheduled too many things all at once. Hey, John. Hi, Alex. Hey, Christian. Germany. Woohoo. I've just had a whole bunch of things happen at once, and I have stuff I haven't even announced yet. But it's hi, Eric. Hi, Andrew. Hey, you guys. Oh, thanks for popping in. It's really sweet of you. But sometimes life happens that way. A lot of things happen all at once. So on Thursday, I'm announcing and launching my Patreon page. You guys have been hearing me talk about it, but it actually launches on the 1st, October 1st. And then on the 3rd, Nana Visitor and Alexander Siddig, we call him Sid. Nana and Sid are my guests for a B5 event. And I'm really excited about this because they're really, really special people. I met Nana when I was her stunt double on Deep Space Nine. And I met Sid through Nana, the cast. But so I was a regular stunt double on Deep Space Nine, and Nana and I became pretty good friends, and then we kind of lost touch with each other after the show, as that's how it goes. She had moved to New York City, and now she's back here in Los Angeles. But there's a bunch of stuff that went on in her life that she's going to share with us on Saturday. She and Sid both have some really amazing things going on, and they're going to talk very frankly about that. So it's not only do we get to have a nerd out session on talking to them about their career. I mean, Sid did Game of Thrones since Deep Space Nine, plus some other stuff, Doctor Who. So I've got a lot of things I'm excited to hear about, but I really think they're very special people because of what they're putting forth into the world, which is what I want to do with Babylon 5, B5 events. I just think that we need that now. We need community. We need some uplifting, positive stuff going on, and we need connection, more than ever. I'm proud of being part of these shows that I've had an opportunity to be part of. And there's a legacy there that's not just the show itself, but it's the actors and their lives and what they can bring to the community and what you as our community bring to us. So there's this exchange of energy that happens. And I want to facilitate that. I want to make sure that it keeps going. So that's what we're doing on Saturday. If you go to b5events.com, there's still tickets available. I think the VIP stuff might be sold out. You can try if you're interested in the VIP. The VIP thing means that there's a separate 1 hour time for the VIPs. There's only 20 tickets, and it's you, me, you, Nana, Sid, me, and we talk more. We go. It's after the main event, so it's a really special. It's a really special thing to be able to do, to hang out with with these heroes. I call them heroes, and be able to ask them further questions or go a little more in depth if that's what you want to do. Anyway, so please check it out. b5events.com. We have a store over there as well, and we just started a whole bunch of things this year since May because of the pandemic and needing to stay in community with everyone. So I've had to I'm just trying a lot of things to see how you respond and what you want and what you like, and stay, just keep moving forward, right? It's the best thing that we can do, and then find out how I can support you. So that's part of why I'm doing the Patreon page, because it's like a membership page. You are supporting me by committing to being a member, and then I can be specific to what it is you need from me. If you read the page, you'll see what my ideas are, but I definitely want to hear your ideas. I'm already hearing ideas from people that have joined early. John, thank you. There's, and this has happened before, you guys. People take my pictures and then open fake accounts, and this is absolutely true. You guys have been reporting them, and I've been reporting them, and Facebook has come back and said we see no violation here. Yeah. So I don't know. They get to use my pictures, evidently, my banners, my name. And then put something different on it, and then they can just open an account. So I think it's a really clear example of how we need to be distrustful of profiles on social media. Obviously, people can make fake profiles all the time, and they can be incisive, they can say inflammatory things and get us all riled up. Just, if you don't know somebody, don't get engaged. Don't engage. Don't go down that rabbit hole, because it's probably a fake account being run by somebody in the Ukraine. So, you know what I mean? I can't believe that Facebook is letting them use my pictures. Anyway, I don't know what you mean, Paul. Can I request you on my Facebook pages? I don't know what that means. You can like my page. If you like my page, or any of our pages, my pages, B5 Events, Quest Retreats, Patricia Tallman, if you like them, then I'm going to show up in your feed. So it's really helpful for me. I hope you do like my pages, because I really appreciate the likes and shares, and it kicks up the algorithm. So then my posts show up more, which is really cool. So, okay. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to tell you about. I'm super excited about this whole week. We've got so much going on. We'll have another announcement of a brand new project coming up, and I might not be able to announce that until Saturday. I'll announce it at the Bardo on Saturday. But we did, folks have been really saying that they like me reading a little bit from the book. This is my book, Pleasure Thresholds. I wrote it about the 5 years I was on Babylon 5 and doing Star Trek and all the other things I was doing in between, like Jurassic Park and all this other stuff. This chapter where I stopped, it's about show business, and it's about what it's like for an actor to do auditions and what it's all about. So I will continue reading a little bit from that. The book is available on the b5events.com store or at Quest Retreats. And it comes, right now it's coming autographed because I'm home and I can send it from here. I can autograph it and send it from here. Once the world opens back up and I start traveling again, it'll just be on Amazon, and I won't have anything to really do with it anymore. So if you want to get the book now, you get it from me directly, and it comes autographed. So that's cool. Let's see where I ended up. Right. Okay. Actors do their scene with a reader. So we're talking about, let me give you some perspective here. Yeah, I'm talking about auditioning. Auditions are a difficult and necessary evil that actors get to go through to get a part. So it's a very artificial experience. It has nothing to do. It's so odd. It really has nothing to do with the job that we do. It's like a completely separate skill, but it's the best they can do. It's the best way that they've figured out how to do this. And there's a lot of, I don't get me started on my rants and raves about how stupid the system is set up for actors. It's not set up for actors. It's obviously. Okay. So I'm talking about going to the casting office and then and trying to set myself up to do the best job that I can. And then it's kind of talking about how it actually works. Actors do their scene with a reader. So you get these sides that are the scene that you don't get the whole script. You just get a piece of the script. You try to do your homework and figure it all out. And then you go in and you read with a reader. They're not an actor. The reader is usually a casting assistant, and they are not actors. Some are better than others. Many are god-awful. The best readers are neutral in their reading, so the actor can do whatever they've chosen to do with the scene. I have had every kind of reader there is. Most are discouraging. The most discouraging ones are the ones the casting director don't want you to get the part. They purposely do a terrible job to show you how much they don't like you. I had this happen on a popular network series I read for because a friend of mine was a co-executive producer on the show. He had written a role he thought I'd be good in. He requested me via the casting director, who then tried to sabotage me in the audition because I wasn't his choice. There are several casting people in town who get on power trips. I haven't been on any of the shows this casting guy works on because he has something against me. I have absolutely no idea what. And right now, there isn't anything I can do about it. Thankfully, for every one casting person who is prejudiced against me, there are 10 who are fans. That's what I focus on. In the room during the audition, there can be 1 or 20 people. If it's a first reading, usually you'll have a casting associate or assistant, or maybe the casting director. They will pre-read or pre-screen you. The advantage to pre-reads, though, is that you get to do the material with the casting people who can give you a clearer idea of the character. If they like what they see, you'll get a callback. Callbacks can happen that day for TV or weeks later for films. At a callback, the room can be filled with producers, writers, the director, and the casting folks. Yikes. Usually there is also a camera running. In the best case scenario, I'm there early enough to check my hair and run through my lines to myself, getting in the right frame of mind for the scene. I reflect on the work I did, researching the script and character, reviewing my choices, then I let it all go. I sign in on the Screen Actors Guild sheet and note where they are on the list to see how fast they're moving. Then I know where I can go to stay calm and focused. When I am on deck, next, I go into hyper-focused mode. How do I describe that? It's not anything I invented. It just happens to me. The room disappears or narrows into this tunnel, and I really don't hear anything anymore. They call my name. I hand the casting person another headshot and walk in. I have moments to suss out the room. Where are all the people? Sometimes you're in a theater in the round with couches and chairs 180 degrees or more around you. Where is the camera? Where is the reader? Where is the chair I'm supposed to sit in? I move it or not, depending on my choice. I tell the camera operator where I'll be moving, if applicable. I have greeted the room in general when I walked in. All this takes seconds. Deep breath. Begin. I have one shot. If I fuck up a line, I keep going. If I really fuck it up royally, I'll back up a line or so. That may or may not be a big deal. Depends on if the writer is in the room and if they are the precious sort. You cannot count on anyone knowing your work. 99% of the time, they will not. So you can't rest on any laurels here. This one shot is all they will ever know about your whole life's work. You think I'm being dramatic? I wish I were. That was a real eye-opener for me when I came to understand that no one else did their research. I might have looked up every name in that breakdown on IMDb Pro, but they don't bother with actors. In the first few lines, I'm dealing with assessing the reader. A piece of me has to take them in, and I overlay them with what I've imagined the other character to be. When you're acting with another actor, there's a lot of give and take, or should be. But with a reader, there cannot be. They are not acting. They are simply there to facilitate you, or should be. I had a reader that was so bad at simply reading that we could never get any rhythm to the scene at all. The next 3 auditions I had with that casting director, I brought a reader with me. You're really not supposed to do that, but I had to do something. There is no start and stop, no cut. You don't have a chance to rehearse with this reader or get used to the room. I finish the scene. Sometimes they react openly. That was great, Pat, thanks. Sometimes it's a very cold room. It has very little to do with the actor. It feels like it's a judgment, though. I leave. Next. It's best to get on with your life and forget about it. Chances are they will hire someone one of them knows. It's such a subjective business. I could remind someone of their ex-wife and never get hired by them. I will never know why. You need to let it go and move on. So why do I still get in my car and cry on the way home? When one of the Suits producers wants you, there are others who have a voice in the casting process. There's never a sure thing. I've had a couple of things I could be up for very soon, but I can't get excited about it because usually I don't get the part anyway. It's heartbreaking to be so powerless. These days, I'm encouraging the members of my company, Talent to Go, to produce their own projects. It's empowering and one hell of a calling card. TTG is a company I co-founded to help actors network, market, and get better at auditioning. And then I use some examples of breakdowns, etc. And I talk about what a breakdown is. Yeah, I mean, there are some technical differences now from when I wrote this book. Like a lot of auditions now are on tape, on camera, self-taped. You tape them at home because look at what we're dealing with the pandemic. But it essentially is the same thing, and it's really tough to not take shit personally because you're not selling encyclopedias, you're selling yourself. So when you're rejected, it's very painful. Nana's going to talk more about this on Saturday. It is really, it's a mind thing you have to do to understand that it's not personal. It has nothing to do with you personally. But it's tricky because, of course, it feels terribly personal. My agent, Orion Barnes, would get a list of breakdowns, go through them, submitting his clients that were right for the roles mentioned. Pat is perfect for the Butch Detective. I'll send the casting couch her info. Maybe after lunch, I'll call the assistant Houdini to see if I can get her an audition. If I'm very lucky, my headshot would be one of 20 selected of about 2,000 submissions to come in and read for the Butch Detective. Then I'd get sides, work on them, go through the audition process. The key is to have as many auditions as possible since it's a numbers game. And eventually one will be right and you'll get a job. Obviously, you have to be submitted correctly for the role you really want to be right, that you really are right for. If your agent just blindly submits you for everything, the casting people will stop trusting your agent and not accept your submission. Plus, as an actor, you want to be right for the role. You want to be as right for the role as possible because that increases your chances for booking it. There are 1,000 variables, and I could write a book on the acting business, but this is just the barest bones of what we go through. Acting is an art and a beautiful one that transports the audience to another reality and experience. The business is brutal. Actors really appreciate your love. It helps to heal the bumps and bruises of the business. Give me a hug the next time you see me. This business is set up to keep the power out of the actor's hands. We have absolutely no control. Unless it's the actor's project to begin with or they're a star that the studio needs to sell it, actors are the bottom link of the chain of power. From the first conception of a script, the producers start to search for the cast and actors are kept out of the circle of creativity. The breakdowns of roles go out from casting agents to agents. It's actually illegal for actors to have access to it. We cannot subscribe to them. I think this is illegal and a violation of our constitutional rights. Maybe I'll take this to court someday. In what other business is it illegal for a person to have access to job classifieds? The one thing that I loved about actually putting all of this down in a book is that it really helped galvanize for me the idea that I wanted to have my own business. Once I hit a certain age, and after Babylon 5, I was in midlife. I was 42 or something. So it's like it's really hard for an actress to keep staying viable in the business once you get in Hollywood. Europe is better. The UK is better. They use older people all the time, older women. They don't have to have a ton of plastic surgery. I have nothing against plastic surgery, but it's just not for me. So, what am I going to do in this market? So when I was running that marketing business I was talking about, Talent to Go, I got so furious all the time because of the way it's set up to keep actors out of the business, out of being able to have any control. And they're nickel and dimed. Would have to pay to get those sides, to go to an audition for the job. I'd have to pay for it. You have to pay your agent, your agent's paying. It's like actors are treated like children, like you don't have a brain in your head. And while creatives do tend to be a lot more playful and have a harder time with all that right brain stuff, that doesn't mean that they're idiots, and nobody likes to be treated like an idiot. So it really helped me to start creating my own idea of how I wanted to be in my life. So when I did have a nervous breakdown, what did I say it was, 2012? That I had a nervous breakdown? I think so. And I started to recreate my life. I was down for it. I can't. Part of what I was doing was kept looking at, like, what do I want to do now? Do I want to go back to acting? And it just didn't. It just revolted me. Was not right. It's not what I wanted to do. I love acting, but the business is so dumb, to say the least. It's wrong, and I didn't want to play that game. I wanted my hard work to pay off. You put all this effort into creating a career, and it ends up it's in everybody else's hands. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to put a lot of hard work into my career, but then I wanted to be able to reap the rewards of it. So the actors that you've known and loved and that still continue to work, they work so hard, and they deserve every break they get, So it's awesome that you can continue to see them and support them. And also just understand that when an actor does choose to move on, it's not a failure. It actually takes a tremendous amount of guts, may I say, to recreate yourself. And just as I started, and my travel business hit 5 years, and I finally was, there, the pandemic hit and travel shut down. And guess what? So B5 events. So I keep trying to, stay relevant for you guys. And because I'm a nerd, that I want to stay in the world of nerds. It would be easier if I were on a hit sci-fi show or something, that would keep me in the limelight. But that doesn't seem to be my path, and that's fine. So I wrote the book with a lot of love in it, and I got the chance to sort of experience those 5 years, because when I was experiencing it, I was working so hard and so fast, I didn't have time to take anything in. Now, when in 2011, when I wrote the first draft, I had time to kind of go, holy shit, that was a lot. Nerd power, absolutely. Thank you. Oh, well, I'm not that old. Well, I'm 63. So, for as far as, hey, Adrian, as far as Hollywood's concerned, and it's also fine. There's people there are people that do work. It just wasn't happening for me, and I also just didn't want to. I'm not interested in starving. I'm not interested in not having any say in how my life goes. Does that make sense? So, all right, I'll take a chance. I'll take a look through this later, you guys. Hello from Vienna. Oh my God. Thanks, Bern, for posting the link there. Totally appreciate that. Oh, thanks. I haven't done the audiobook yet. I'm planning on an audiobook. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. But I'm going to plan on doing that. Oh, thank you, Martin. Thanks, Martin. Cool. Yeah, changing careers is tough. But you know what? I think there is a blessing in it. When I've learned how to recreate myself, and I've had to do it a few times. And so when it came time to do it again in April, when things were clearly shut down, I was able to. I kind of didn't even think twice. I was like, okay, no travel. Okay, what do we do? Okay, right. That means no conventions. That means we can do something meaningful online, and we'll just gather online, And so that's how B5 events started. We just had to come up with something fast. And I love connecting with you guys. I mean, that's why I go to conventions. I don't particularly enjoy all conventions. It's a lot of hard work for the actor, but I do enjoy meeting you. And I do enjoy, some of the stuff we get to do. And I love the dealer's room. So that was the part I wanted to keep going, was connecting with you guys. And then sharing stuff, sharing the real stuff. I think that we as a community, as nerds, especially if you're a nerd of a certain age, it was not popular being a nerd when we were kids. We got beat up and shoved in lockers and made fun of constantly, right? So you hid your books and comics and you did the best you could. But now nerds rule the world. So that's, to me, remarkable and gives me a lot of hope. I just think that we have a long way to go, but we're getting there. All right, kids, I've been talking long enough, I'm sure. 25 minutes, holy crap. Join us on Saturday if you can. I think it's going to be really special. It is an exchange of energy, so I am asking for money for a ticket price. I'm paying my actors, I'm paying my team, I pay for the apps that keep us going, and it just, everything costs money. So I wish I could do more shit for free, but I am trying to do, be it here accessible, a little more accessible, and I'm figuring out how to do that. That'll work for me and work for you as well. So, I think that it's important that we give to you and you give to us, and a lot of love goes back and forth. And the actors that I have on as guests understand that. So they're already people that are that want to be there with you, for you. Anybody else go to Sid City Social Club? Alexander Siddig, everybody calls him Sid, has a look it up. You could Sid City Social Club, and that's all he does is talk and help people. So, these people have their hearts in a very special place, and we want you to. Do you have sponsors? I don't know sponsors. No. But that's why I started a Patreon page, because I thought that could help. I think that before I can get any sponsors, I might have to, I have to get to a certain level. And our groups are small, between 100 and 200 people. So it's a small group. It's not like, we're not creation. And I have no intention of following that business model. I don't mind having large events, but I do want to have intimate things going on. And as far as, real talk between people. And then I also want to have availability for the actors to be. And I look at what's going on with online conventions, and I don't like what I see. I'm not impressed. So I've got to figure it out, but I'm doing that as I'm in motion, figuring out as I go along. Now, I get feedback from you guys, so that helps a lot. All right, I'm going to sign off here for real now. Okay. All right. Yeah. I love you guys. I hope that you are having a fabulous Tuesday. And if you aren't, maybe you just need a little more coffee like me. Now I'm drinking iced coffee. What is it? It says fucker on it. It's my fucker glass. God. I will, Christopher. It's going to launch on Thursday, and we will share the link at that point. The page is pretty well put together. I think I'm going to have Patreon look it over one more time, so make sure that I'm doing things right. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about Saturday, and I'm excited about telling you the next thing that we're doing. So you guys have a great day. Be well, take care of each other, and I'll talk to you tomorrow probably.